Good morning, dear students. Welcome to our class. So, we are continuing with the short story, The Sound Machine, written by Roald Dahl. So, we have seen the various experiments conducted by the Klausner and how he finally comes to a conclusion that the creaking and the very loud shriek of pain and the cry that he heard through his instrument, that is a sound machine which he created, is actually it is figured out that it has come from at that time when Mrs. Saunders cut the stem of a rose flower. Okay, so and he asked her to repeat the same process again to once again confirm that the sound he heard, the cry, the loud shriek which he heard, is actually it has come from the cutting of the Klausner's Mrs. Saunders activity of cutting the stem of the rose flower. Okay, now he explains to Mrs. Launder that why he asked her to do and what are the things, that what is his discovery, what is his invention, etc. So we'll continue with the story. Did you really, Mr. Klausner? She decided she would make a dash for the house in about 5 seconds. Now, as I told you, Mr. Klausner was a very obsessed kind of person, and he is, very, very crazy. And, this scientists always behave in a, don't seem to be very normal. That's the first thing. They behave in a very different manner. Okay. And which seems to be, for them it is natural, but which seems to be something abnormal, something problematic for the other people. Okay, and being the neighbor of Mr. Klausner, Mrs. Sonder is also well aware of to some extent of his nature, so she didn't wait there to ask and find out or more clarifications regarding that. She just ran away immediately into her house within few seconds. Okay, so you might say he went on, but Dr. Klausner didn't come to know that she left the place, and he was just explaining his things as if he's thinking that Mrs. Saunders is listening to him. So you might say, he went on, that a rose bush has no nervous system to fail, with no throat to cry with. You would be right, it hasn't. Not like ours anyway. But how do you know, Mrs. Saunders? And here he leaned far over the fence and spoke in a fierce whisper. How do you know that a rose bush feel as much pain when someone cut its stem in two as you would feel someone cut your wrist off with a garden shears? How do you know that? Is it alive? Is it? So isn't it? Yeah. So he just continues asking her that, and telling that the rose bush also has a nervous system to feel with, and it also has a throat to cry, and you are right, and it hasn't. Okay, but actually we know that logically you think that we don't come to such an assumption that the plants have the throat to cry, or they have the nervous system to feel, to understand, to realize, recognize, etc. And logically it is not there. Okay, but not like ours anyway. But how do you know? So you just ask, how do you speak that they too have this type of feelings? Okay, and here he learned, and he explains that when a plant also gets cut, it also gets wound. Okay, so and just simple example, like there are certain plants or the trees, when you just try to break a stem of it, or try to just pluck a leaf of that, you can see that a juicy kind of sticky kind of liquid substance starts flowing on the bark of the tree or on the stem of that particular plant from the point where you cut it. Okay, so this is what the Dr. Klausner was trying to explain, like if when we have a cut on our wrist or on our hand or any part of our body, it starts bleeding. Okay, similarly the plants also have this type of bleeding. Okay, and that also, so we have the pain, we feel the pain, obviously they too feel the pain. Okay, and the cry or the shriek which his sound machine observed or grasped from the surrounding is actually the cry when Mrs. Saunders cut the road stem, and that is a cry that Klausner heard through his instrument. Okay, so this is what he actually want to put into the words. So he just asked Mrs. Saunders that how did you come to know that, do you think that plants are alive and they have the same emotions like what human beings have? So yes, Mr. Klausner. Oh yes, and good night. Quickly she turned and ran up the garden or to her house. Klausner went back to the table. He put on the earphones and stood for a while listening. He could still hear the faint crackling sound and the humming noise of the machine, but nothing more. So once that process is completed, he can't listen to any other sounds, okay? And he just heard the very faint and the feeble sound of the instrument, that is his sound machine, nothing else. He bent down and took hold of a small white daisy growing on the lawn. He took it between thumb and forefinger and slowly pulled it upward and sideways until the stem broke. So again, these scientists, they are never satisfied with one experiment. They keep on continuing with the more and more experiments to substantiate that their discovery is 100% correct and true and apt, and they have to prove it, and there is no other like what do you say, there is no other wrong that they have done. They discovered exactly right, and it should be known to the world also. So that is why here again, when Mrs. Saunders went from there, he just took another stem of a white daisy flower, and he just which was there in his lawn, and he took it and he hold it between his thumb and the forefinger, and he slowly just plucked it upward and sideways until the stem is broken. Okay, that means he is trying again and again that whether it is applicable to all the type of plants or not, okay, or only particular type of plants do respond in such manner, or like is it same same is what you hear if you break the stem or cut the leaf or pluck the flower, or even you cut the trunk of a tree. So just you want to experiment with the different things. Recently the scientists are very busy in discovering the vaccine for the corona. So they are, what they are doing, they are trying and experimenting in the rats, in the monkeys, okay, and different creatures to find out that whether it's working or not. Okay, so similarly here also we see Dr. Klausner try to experiment it with the different types of plants, and finally experiments with the tree also. From the moment that he started pulling to the moment when the stem broke, he distinctly heard in the earphone. Distinctly means very clearly and very separately, okay, individually. He heard in the earphones a faint high pitched cry, curiously intimate, so inanimate. So now this time he himself experimented. In the previous experiment he asked Mrs. Saunders to do that process, and he was listening and he was trying to relate the things, okay, but this time he did by himself. He himself took the flower, he himself cut the stem of the flower, and he was already wearing the earphones, and he was just very keenly doing that, whether if when I break this into the piece, whether I'll be able to hear the very same sound of pain, very same sound of loud shriek, okay, of or like a cry from the throat, etc. So he heard this time a very fainted high pitched cry, very curious. Now different ways of the sounds are heard by the Klausner, okay, in different frequencies. Now when he saw that Mrs. Saunders cut the stem of the rose flower, she used a scissor, isn't it, a metal object, okay, and she cut it. And when she was cutting, obviously she might be putting all her pressure and the force upon that instrument, so that at one cut or one press itself it gets cut, okay, and that is why he might be able to hear that sound in the earphones in a very louder frequency, okay, louder vibration. But now this time when he took a delicate stem of a white daisy and he just broke it, he didn't cut it immediately or broke it at one instance, very delicately he just took hold it and he just try to break it and just try to twist its side so that it gets separated. And now you can see that this time the sound vibration or the frequency which he was able to hear through his earphones is a little bit not very high pitched one, it is a feeble sound. Okay, so now that means again it depends on how, maybe this is what his analysis is, or maybe this is a point that you want to put as a statement, that it depends on what type of objects or the instruments that you use to cut. The more complicated instruments you use to, the more will be the pain. Okay, and maybe that is what he want to put as a statement. So once more he heard the cry, but it wasn't sure now that it expressed the pain. Now every time the sound doesn't seems to be similar. Okay, every time it has different connotations. So no, it wasn't pain. So this time we come to the conclusion that it was not the sound exactly of the pain, it was a surprise. Okay, now, or was it, I didn't really express any of the feelings or emotions known to a human being. Okay, now just even we human beings, when we get a small wound, like suppose often your mothers used to cut vegetables and sometimes they get a cut in their fingers, that wound, it happens in a very short span of time, that that pain will not endure for a long period of time. Okay, only that particular moment for a second, etc. Now suppose you are using some instrument with lot of force. Okay, and all of a sudden you just put it on your finger and you got your finger cut. Okay, so and the wound is very deep, that pain is different and you cry in a different manner. That means the intensity of the pain decides the reaction of yours. Okay, so that is what here he says, that every time, not necessary that he will be coming across the same type of sounds to his sound machine, and it can be just a cry, it can be just a shriek, or it can be very high pitched shriek, low tone shriek, it was just like humming sound. So different types of sounds can be heard. Okay, or a stony cry, a single emotionless note, or it's like expressing something. So it had been the same with the roses. He had been wrong in calling it a cry of pain. Again, he don't want to use the term cry of pain. A flower probably didn't, and we know that it's very difficult to believe that a flower will be probably having any kind of such pain. Okay, and it felt something else which we didn't know about. And sometimes you cannot exactly figure out what it could be, that pain, because we never as I told you, put ourselves into the shoes of others, so we will not come to know that what exactly the opposite person is feeling. Okay, so though you can make your assumptions, though you can make your guesses, etc., but you will not exactly 100% you will be figure outing that what is happening inside the person's mind, what is his emotional situation. Okay, we see often people they come with the smiling faces and all, and you are not able to figure out that they really happy, or they're just hiding their sadness and trying to express in the form of happiness, etc. So, and we human beings are the great actors, so we can do anything, okay, to hide our inner feelings. So a proper flower probably didn't feel pain. So here also it says that it might not be, he is not satisfied. The first thing, that with the discovery he is not satisfied. He again tries, makes lot of analysis, again he comes to certain conclusions, and he believes that this pain is actually it's not a proper one. Okay, maybe something else or some other emotional feelings might have attached to this, which he is not able to recognize. I feel something else which we didn't know about, actually don't know about, and something called Tom or spun or plincuments. So just trying to put it out in the different words to get the exact meaning, or so that he could explain what it is actually, or like what type of pain is actually that at that time the flower might have felt. Okay, so he calls it in different terms, in different words. It can be a tom, or it can be a spunk. Now what do you mean by tom? Okay, here it refers to Tom or Spurl, it refers to, it is used for saying something like I means don't do this to me. So we say, like when mother or the parents beat the children say, please don't beat me, I will not do, I will not do. So it's like a pleading, it's like a request. Okay. So and suppose if you beat a elder child, the elder child will not cry, don't beat me, don't beat me. He will just standing there and he will taking the beatings. Okay. Because for him crying is like something beyond his ego. Okay. So different reactions you can say with the different things. Okay. So here he says that it's like he's saying that I don't, maybe it's like a pleading or it's like a request from the plant side. Okay. Or it can also be a plenuquement means know what it means exactly. He is just not able to put even the exact word to describe that particular situation. Okay. Or and he says that anything, something like this, he just comes to a conclusion. Okay. That the plants cry cannot be explained in words, or it cannot be easily understood by us because we are not in that situation. So I hope that you understood the paragraphs, and please keep going through your textbook and the videos for better understanding. So thank you for having patience. I am signing off today. Good day.